Hi guys, Ghost Peppa here. So now I'm going to take another look at Red Eyes Adventure. Red Eyes Adventure is a deck that I've been playing for quite a while, and it's my own unique twist on making Red Eyes work in the current meta. And in the last season, I actually was able to take it all the way to Master Rank. Now, I'm constantly adapting and tweaking this deck as cards are released, and my current version has two Kashtira Fenrirs. Kashtira Fenrir has a very powerful effect, which if your opponents activate a monster effect, I can target a face-up card they control and banish it face down. This is a good source of removal, and it also gives me a sort of a versatile replacement for Vishuda if I go that route. I took my copies of Vishuda down to 1 because this actually gives me some more counterplay, and I wanted to test with that to see how it would work. In my Master Rank deck profile that's on Master Duel Meta, I was running Chaos Hunters, and I was running these because Fenrir wasn't a thing. So this is still a very valid option, and honestly, if you're building the deck, I would say either run 2 Fenrir or run 2 Chaos Hunter. Those are the 2 float spots as far as that goes. Chaos Hunter is really good against the current meta, and it helped me a lot climbing because if your opponent special summons a monster, you can discard a card and special summon this card, and then your opponent cannot banish cards. This usually, if it's a banish heavy deck, which there are very many right now, will shut down their turn, and it will make them end her enter battle phase early to deal with Chaos Hunter if they can deal with it. If not, it can alone win the duel by itself. But the hard caveat is you do have to discard a card. And sometimes I was discarding some really good cards that I needed for follow-up, and I was still able to win the duel, but it really had a heavy cost. So because of that, I'm currently testing with Fenrir. But I just wanted to let you guys know that these two can interchangeably be mixed together. My Bestial package is one of each. As you can see here, I run 2 Bestial Rebellions to search. The rest of it is pretty standard. We've bumped some royal rarities up on some of our adventures as the new pack released. But the only other notable change down below is that now instead of running 2 droplets, I'm running 2 infinite impermanents. Now the reason I'm doing this, droplet was great. I could completely negate an entire field of a combo deck, but the meta is not really built around that right now, and it's better to have something faster in hand because Red Eyes Adventure is a deck that it can potentially brick, so I always tend to aim to go second if I can. And by going second, I need to have instant interaction with their board during their first turn. So 2 Imperms have replaced the 2 Forbidden Droplets. Down at the bottom, we have the same fusion package as before. We have a Slash, a Comet, and we have DPE. Then for our Xyz, it's a little bit more streamlined. We have Hieratic Dragon, King of Atum. Not a lot of people know about this card or pay attention to it, but it uses 2 level 6 dragons, which any of the Bestials fit this. And I can detach material, special summon a dragon monster from my deck, and make its attack and defense 0, but I still can activate its effect. So I can use that ability to summon Magnamut and get a Bestial in my hand for the next turn. I can use that ability to instantly get out one of my Black Metal Dragons to start my combo. I can use that to get out Red Eyes Darkness Metal and revive and make Verte instantly. So there's a lot of combo potential with Hieratic Dragon, King of Atum. So that's a very valuable card, and if you don't run this, I recommend you run at least one other Xyz target for the Bestial lineup. Also, same as before, I run Big Eye. I only run 1 Flare Metal because tons of fun, I love the card, but running into 2 just wasn't happening as often as I would like. Now, aside from that, we also have Dark Arm, the Dragon of Annihilation, so this is just spot removal. And after I remove something, I have to banish something from grave. So I can either banish some of my spells that are already spent because there's not really a good way to get them back in this deck, or if I wanted to make my Pot of Acquisitiveness active quicker, all I have to do is banish a monster, chain pot, shuffle them all back in the deck. So there's some options with Dark Armed. Also, my Link package is fairly similar, about the same. Link Spider to get rid of a token or to get rid of Red Eyes to go into Vert. We have Link Karibo for Black Metal Dragon. We also have Striker Dragon for Black Metal Dragon. All the basic combos. I also leaned heavily on this card getting into Master Rank. So Hieratic Seal of the Heavenly Spheres is very powerful, because once per turn, if this card is in the extra monster zone, keep in mind it has to be in the extra monster zone, but it's a quick effect. I can tribute a monster from my hand or field, return a face-up card on the field to the hand. So this is not targeting, and I can basically bounce something from their field to the hand. So say they normal summon, I can bounce the normal summon to hand, can shut down their combo immediately. Say I'm going against a token heavy deck like Sword Soul, I can bounce their token, shut down immediately. So much play that can go on here. Now also the secondary pieces, if I tribute this, which often I will, I can special summon a dragon monster from my hand or deck and make its attack or defense 0, but I can do the same kind of thing I do with the Tum, and I could go for Magnemite to get a Bestial back to hand at the end of the turn. I can go Black Metal Dragon so that if they beat over it, I get a free search. Tons and tons and tons of counterplay there. I have added back Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos, because every time I summon it, it always uses a level 7 or higher monster, and when I do so, my opponent cannot target it with card effects, and it cannot be destroyed by my opponent's card effects. So in a meta where there is a lot of targeting effects, such as Tearlaments and also Labyrinths, which target destroy, this card has to carry me through those really hard matchups. Because if I go in a different lineup and they start bouncing back my dragons into the deck or just popping them on summon, it gets really bad really fast. The only two cards that can really play around that are DPE and my Soldier of Chaos. So that's why those two are there to stay once more. I do run Nightmare Unicorn. I don't go into this often, but it's just a free spin. And if I do go into that often, it's on the way into Access Code Talker. So for a while, I wasn't running Access Code and Nightmare Unicorn, but that package, it does come up a handful of times, and whenever I take it out, I miss it. And I didn't need the 2 float Xyz spaces that I was using for those, one of them being another Flare Metal and the other one being Volferinges, the Doom Rider Dragon. So they just weren't needed. So because of that, I went with the Link package just to have more versatility. So now that you guys know some of the changes, let's go through some of the updated combos. Okay, so with this hand, we have our Kashtira Fenrir, which is one of the new combo pieces. So when we have that, it can special summon itself to begin, so we're going to go ahead and start with that card. Now, Kashtira Fenrir can search out another Kashtira from my deck to hand, which I run 2 Fenrirs for this reason. So I can go ahead and add it to my hand in case we have any follow-up problems. And here, they're playing Phantasm. Mixed in with a Tinyi engine, so I know that things that they add to their hand they can activate as a quick effect, but they added a normal monster, which is not really going to help them too much. So we're going to go ahead and add Branded Regains to the field. I'm going to chain Rebellion, and we will add to hand. Let's see. Just to get the ball rolling, we're going to do Magnemite. So Magnemite, I can activate the effect. I can banish Bestial Rebellion. I already have Regains, so I don't need to worry about it being engraved. So I can get my search for Magnemite, and I can Branded Regains, shuffle it back in the deck, and draw a card in its place. This Bestial combo will happen all the time. We drew Max C, which doesn't help us, but that's okay, we'll keep working. So Red Eyes Insight, I'm going to send one of my Red Eyes to grave. I don't have Monster Reborn, so I'm going to send one of the basic Red Eyes, and usually I'll start with Red Eyes Black Flare Dragon. So we'll send that. And here, we will add Red Eyes Fang with Chain. Now, we do have Rite of Aramesir, so we can go ahead and start into the adventure package. So we will summon here. Now keep in mind how many summons this has been. 1, 2, 3. So we do try to play around Nib in this situation. So what I'm going to do to play around Nib is I'm going to summon Max C, because I really am not going to need it in this situation. Add Draco back. Now keep in mind, I did this, but if you want to play super optimally, I'm running through this quickly, you could have summoned the adventure token and then gone into Bestial Magnamut to get this search without having to summon Maxi, but I'm just running through it quickly. So Fateful Adventure, we will add to hand Griffin Rider. We will discard Draco back. Same combo as before, guys. This will equip from grave to adventure token once per turn. I will bounce the problematic field spell back to hand. Then I will activate Griffin Rider's effect, special summon. And here, we will go ahead and go Vert using these two. If we ever lose Vert for the Red Eyes engine, it will really hurt us quite a bit. So, fingers crossed that doesn't happen, but in the meantime, we're gonna use it like crazy. Alright, and so we'll go ahead and send our 2 cards for Slash. Slash is immediately active because Draco back exists. Alright, Phantom Knights. We will search Fogblade to hand. Okay, now in this situation, we can go ahead and enter battle. So Fenrir, if they activated an effect, it triggers, or during when this card declares an attack, I can target a face-up card my opponent controls and banish it face down. So I will be doing that. This is a reason why I've started running this. Now keep in mind, when you are using Fenrir's effect, it will only banish a card face down that can be banished face down. So as you notice right here, even though I attacked some of these other cards, this token is face up. The token cannot be banished face down because it's a token. So because of that, Fenrir's effect will not get rid of it. So let's continue on. And here, if I let that go through, it will cause my opponent's monster to lose 1500 attack to the end of the turn, which means his token will survive. So I can either shuffle the Omni Negate to stop that, or it will potentially stop my turn here. So I don't have enough to OTK him, but I do want to do as much damage as possible, and I will have my targeting negation, so I'm going to stop that. Okay, main phase 2, we will set Fogblade, Fang with Chain, and we will end the turn. At the end of the turn, Magnamut will trigger. We will add to hand our Baldrake. And then we will instantly equip Fang with Chain to Slash Dragon. We want to have that active as soon as we can. Okay, during standby, passes back to them. We still have Fenrir for interruption. Okay, he activated a monster effect to summon. See, now that is a banishable target. So, we can trigger 2 things. 1, Branded Regains, and then we can also trigger 2, our Fenrir. So we're going to go ahead and trigger Fenrir, banish his card. We're going to trigger Branded Regains to special summon our Magnamut back from the grave. Magnamut coming back from grave constantly is very important because that lets us play it as a searcher many times, especially in a format like Master Duel where it's limited to 1 copy. So we'll go ahead and do that. Banish. Magnamut triggers effects, so we'll search another Bestial at the end of the turn. Goes back to them. They set 1 card face down, so I know they don't have a lot to deal with currently. I can go ahead and banish and shuffle back, so I will do so. And we will just banish our Flare. Branded Regain, trigger. Shuffle back. That's the good thing about all the Bestials and the Red Eyes. They work together just so well. So we have Pacifist, another field spell activated. Magnemite will trigger. We will search. So in this case, I'm going to get Lubellion, the one that we sent. Because it's sort of a balance. We're trying to keep our deck thinned, but we're also trying to play around some of their nastiness. So we will, again, bounce Pacifist back, because we do not want to deal with that. Okay, we can take Lubellion, trigger effect. Add to hand Druid Swarm. Okay, now I'm going to show you some different things here. We have quite a few options. So Fateful Adventure can search, and when it searches it can bring back our Omni Negate to hand. We have Verte is on the field ready for another fusion summon, which usually the second one is DPE. And we have 2 level 6s, so we can go ahead and search something like Black Metal and start that combo. So right now we literally have a completely open toolkit, but we are going to go ahead and play just a little defensively here. So we will Lubellion, just because we can, into this, just to show you how that can tag in and out, doesn't matter. But the reason I did Lubellion is because I'm not going to use Vert's effect. I'm going to go into Blackluster Soldier. So the Bestials are level 6s, so they do not trigger his protection. But Lubellion's a level 8, which hits that requirement because he requires a level 7 or higher. So we will do that. So we'll go Lubellion, Anaconda, Ball Drake. It will hit the field. Then we will go Fateful Adventure. I will add to hand Griffin Rider. And then I choose a card to send to the grave. So we already have Fenrir. I'm not really going to need it right now, so I'm going to go ahead and send our Fenrir out. We'll trigger Griffin Rider. Then we will trigger Druid Swarm. So in case I want Vert later, I can go ahead and banish it. Regain will trigger. It will shuffle Vert back into the extra deck, and then I have it again for later. And I drew Enchantress, so again, gas upon gas upon gas is what we're going for. Now we can go into the battle phase. I can go with Blackluster Soldier, attack their card. If Blackluster Soldier kills something, then I can banish a card on the field. And so I'm going to banish their face down, just in case it's a problem. It was not, but doesn't matter. We will go ahead and finish them off. Okay, say we want to go a slightly different route. So we opened our adventure package, so we'll start with that. Adventure token, set the continuous spell. Now, in this case, I summoned it in attack, but in reality, you should always summon this in defense, so just keep that in mind. So, Fateful Adventure will trigger on the summon of Black Metal Dragon. Add Rideable, do not equip. Then we will take Striker into right here. Trigger Black Metal, search. Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Darkness Metal, special summon, banishing Striker. We'll go ahead and Fateful, because that's third summon. We'll get Griffin Rider just to make sure we're protected. Drake it back to grave. Equip. Activate effect. Like I said, we should be putting this in defense. Red Eyes, Darkness Metal. And in this case, I'm gonna change it up just a tad. I could go into Vert, and I could go into those combos, but we're gonna go into Hieratic Seal. So we'll do these two. Trigger Black Metal again. We will add Insight to hand. We will deck thin and search a Red Eyes card. So now we get Red Eye Spirit, we have Fang with Chain, and we have Imperm. So we have a good option here. So set, set, set. And of course we can still get into Vert if we wanted to, but we don't. So we will pass here. Okay, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and chain Red Eye's Spirit. We're going to get Red Eye's Darkness Metal out in defense. In response to the summon, we will chain Fang with Chain to Darkness Metal. So now we have a trap-based Rip, we have a non-targeting bounce, we have an Omni Negate, and we have an equip protection for these two cards since they're equipped. Okay, here, special summon, let them go for that. Okay, normal summon and a special, so they've used their normals. Okay, they linked into Shaman. So in response to that link, I will bounce Hieratic to Grave, and we will return their link to the extra deck. Hieratic will trigger, and we will special summon Magnemite. Magnemite will trigger to search us a Bestial, and now we have instant access to our Bestial lineup. They have more plays, so they're trying to send a Worm from deck to grave, and we will go ahead and negate that. And we still have one Rip as well. Okay, they had them back to back, so that one will go through. And it looks like they're out of gas. So we burned through all their cards with just a Red Eyes deck. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to add to hand Lubellion, because we need to get that engine live. And we'll activate Lubellion's effect to add a Bestial of our choice to our hand. And we have Darkness Metal on the field. So we're going to be able to extend into Vert or whichever we want. So we will add, you know what, Baltric to hand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and Bestial Lubellion to this. Okay, trigger Lubellion's effect, set regained. Alright, now we have some more options. So I'm going to go ahead and go Serenade effect, and I'm going to banish Hieratic Seal, because the Bestial line also, just like I did with Vert, lets me recycle my Hieratic Seal over and over and over. Alright, we will go ahead and bounce their back row, because it could be problematic. Alright, we will Fateful Adventure. I'll go ahead and add my Omni Negate to hand to prevent shenanigans. And we'll just send Maxi to grave, because we don't need it. Activate Griffin Rider. Special summon. Protected from Nib once again. Now, at this point, we want to go as much DPS as possible, so we will go ahead and link off an Avert. Trigger Serenade. We'll do that. And here, you have lots of options. We're just shy of having damage on field, so pretty much anything we bring out can get it. I can go into Slash to get some of that protection. I can go into DPE to do target destruction, or non-target destruction, or I can just go into Meteor. So we'll go into Meteor this time. We'll use Black Dragon. Now, I've already burned through all my Bestials, as you see they're engraved, but ideally, what you would do is you would run Serenade, or send Serenade to grave with this. The reason being is, in this case, it is not going to have any chain blocking. But if I send Serenade, I would respond to Meteor Black Comet's activation with Serenade's activation. That way they cannot Ash my Meteor Black Comet Dragon's effect to burn them. And I've won many games because they've tried to Ash it, and I've made it unashable by chain blocking. So we'll go ahead and send that. Burn them down. Enter battle phase, and we'll just clean up shop. Of course, nothing's more embarrassing than dying to the snake. Red Eye's Adventure is definitely my favorite deck in Master Duel, so I hope you guys enjoyed this deck breakdown and combo guide update from the first video. And if you have any questions, feel free to just drop a note in the comments. I try to be as responsive as I can. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.